A little over 3 years ago, Boston City Councilor Tito Jackson announced his endorsement of Marty Walsh for mayor of Boston, proclaiming, quote, his leadership, vision, and integrity make him my choice. But today, Jackson declared he's going head-to-head against Walsh in hopes of becoming Boston's 55th mayor.
I stand here thankful and grateful and eternally indebted to the city of Boston, because this is the city that has shown me a simple but important concept called grace.
It's a lofty goal, given it's been almost 7 decades since an incumbent mayor has been unseated in Boston, and with Walsh reportedly sitting on a $3.6 million war chest and some solid popularity numbers within the city, this campaign will not exactly be a walk in the park. Tito Jackson joins me now. Congratulations on your announcement, Councilor.
Thank you so much, and I'd love to take a walk in the park with you.
Anytime.
Okay.
You're in essence asking the voters to fire Marty Walsh and hire you. What are his fireable offenses after 3 years?
Well, I think we've been on the wrong track. When we think about the city of Boston right now, one, where we've been paying attention to IndyCar, where we've been paying attention to corporate giveaways like General Electric, $276 million and a helipad, where we've been distracted with things such as the Olympics, where we're going to have a $3 billion overspend. What people want to concentrate on for working families is affordable housing. Folks are getting forced out of the city in all parts of the city of Boston. We want to focus on public education and fully funding our public education. So folks need a shot, and that's why I'm running for mayor of the city of Boston.
Let me talk about what you said about Marty Walsh for a second, then we'll talk about the things you want to do. GE and tax breaks. That mean a Mayor Jackson, no tax breaks for GE?
We have amazing people. We have one of the most educated populations in the whole United States of America. We have a place that people want to be. You're not going to, and I did these deals with Governor Patrick. We actually worked with Microsoft. They didn't get a tax break. We work with Google.
So no tax breaks for GE?
No tax breaks like that, like we've seen for GE.
What does that mean, smaller?
I believe we didn't. I would love to see us invest in small businesses, because we know that small businesses represent 85% of the businesses in the city of Boston.
So no tax breaks for GE?
No tax breaks for GE for me.
They probably wouldn't have come here. You know that.
I don't believe that.
You think you could have lured them here with no tax breaks?
Yeah, okay. When we think about many of the other companies who've chosen to come here, they didn't all need tax breaks to come here, and they definitely weren't as large. And we didn't see those types of deals at the state level when Governor Patrick, who was one of my mentors, was in office.
Now, Councilor, I also read that you said that the turning point for you was the Olympics and his support of that. You supported the Olympics in the beginning and ultimately flipped and opposed them. He supported the Olympics, and then when he saw that the city was going to have to do the guarantee, he flipped too. What's the difference between what you did and what Mayor Walsh did?
So I was okay with the Olympics being brought forward, but I needed, as an elected official, people need to answer basic questions like the finances of the Olympics. And so as a mayor of the city of Boston, I would be looking at what are the long-term financial implications of the decisions that we're making. When we think about the Olympics, how do you have a bid book that the elected officials in the city of Boston actually never got to see what the financials look like? Our first and foremost, our responsibility and our fiduciary responsibility is to the taxpayers. And so you wouldn't see that with me. And actually, let's focus on the things that are going to make Boston and all of Boston great. In addition, I would also note that we still continue to have 50% of people in the city of Boston who make $35,000 or less. Those are the things that we should be focusing on.
Let me focus on the first two you mentioned, affordable housing and better education. I would bet that every candidate since Greece said, I want better schools and I want better housing for my people. Yeah. Why are you better situated to make those things happen than Marty Walsh or any other politician who's promised such things?
Well, it's not about talking about it. It's about being about it. There's been an opportunity over the last 3 years to invest in public education. Last year's budget left our young people high and dry. $22 million gap. You saw autistic students get larger classrooms, librarians were cut, and 3 schools are cut. This is all happening, and one of the most difficult days for me is I sat in a meeting where the Matterhunt School was closed on the same night that we were having a conversation about a helipad. That's not okay. We had the resources, by the way. This is about priorities, right? We had $115 million in new revenue. We could have used that revenue to invest in the future of the city of Boston, and our young people need us now. Our communities need us today, and we can't wait any longer, and that's why I put my hat in the ring.
So you say you have the skills. You also say, I read in one of your things, you can jump in the air, do a split in the air and touch your toes. Is that true, or is that not true?
There is actually footage out there of that, so I'm going to embrace it.
If you want to do it, you want to do it now?
I will neither confirm.
Fine.
No.
I learned a couple of days ago that under current law, I believe this is correct, you can actually run for mayor and run for re-election in your position. Are you contemplating doing that?
I am not contemplating. I am absolutely focused on becoming the next mayor of the city.
So you'll not be running for
re-election?
re-election?
I will not be running for re-election for District 7. Now, mind you, and I will note, I've dedicated all 5 years to doing work in District 7.
I understand
that. And now I am fully focused on becoming the next mayor of the city.
When
of
you
Boston.
called the mayor, and what did he say to you, and what did you say to him?
Oh, it's about bringing the city together, and that's what it's about. We also
what did he say to you?
We had a nice. He said, "I would wish you luck, but I don't mean it."
He said that?
Yeah, and I said, "I would wish you luck, and I don't mean it."
I assume you'll agree to debate him here at WGBH. Is that correct?
One other piece, and I will agree to that. One other piece. We also both said that we would we'd be friends at the end.
One last thing, Councilor, and I hope you'll spend a lot of time here between now and November, and we'll have more time. When I was watching on NECN, I think today, the beginning of your thing in Roxbury, and I saw your mother introduce you, what was that? What did that mean to you? What did that mean to you?
It meant the world. I was adopted when I was 4 weeks old, and to have someone who chooses you, who chooses to do extra, I did cry a little bit before I actually went out, because it made me think about my father and my mom, and so it meant a huge amount to me to have my mom, who just turned 75, get to be there, and this is for my mom, but it's also for all of the community members who spoke into me, who told on me, who looked out for me, and that's what this is about. And I want a city where folks like my mom, who bought their house in 1972 for 20 grand, could actually still stay in the city. And so that's what this is about, and we really want to make sure that our city continues to be a city for working class families in the city of Boston.
Congratulations, Councilor. I hope we'll see you a lot in the next few months.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it.
Tito Jackson.